Ever notice how some people, regardless of the circumstances, always seem to get what they want? It's not a coincidence. Charm, isn't it? It's a psychological issue. We're exploring the darkest recesses of the human psyche in this video to reveal 7 psychological tricks that can be used on anyone. These are not merely concepts, they are tactics that influencers, manipulators, and even reliable people employ on a daily basis. By the end, you may have a completely different perspective on the world, so pay attention. The guilt trip is number 7. The manipulator's preferred tool is guilt, which they use to turn the tables on you rather than launch a direct attack. That's how subtle it is. Keep quiet. Deadly caught up in manipulating emotions. They'll say things like, "I'll be alone if you leave now." It sounds innocuous, but it's poisonous. In reality, what they're saying is, "You're selfish because your happiness hurts me." This strategy is most effective when applied to sympathetic people. Controlling you becomes easier the more you care. "After all I've done for you," they'll remind you, or they'll hit you with, "A good person would stay." You eventually quit taking care of yourself, not because you want to, but rather because you don't want to come across as heartless. Guilt is frequently what turns your heart against your own desires, whether it comes from parents, friends, or even charity advertisements featuring sad-eyed pets or starving children. Number 6. Forecasting manipulators point fingers in projection, but not at random. They accuse you of the same offense that they have committed. It goes beyond simple deception. It's like taking your script and turning it upside down before you have a chance to say anything. You could be accused of flirting by a cheater, a liar. They claim that you are the one who is being dishonest. You could be labeled insecure by someone who is jealous. But trick, you become so preoccupied with protecting yourself that you fail to consider their intentions. That is the entire strategy. They cool it off themselves by turning the heat on you. Additionally, you will expend energy trying to clear your name while they remain hidden in plain sight because nobody enjoys being misunderstood. It occurs in families, relationships, and even political discussions. Imagine a public figure preaching honesty while keeping secrets hidden. That's projection gone haywire. It's likely that someone's own guilt is showing through if they are continuously accusing you without supporting documentation. Please remember to hit like and subscribe before we continue, especially if this is already affecting you personally. The 5th strategy is the foot in the door method. This strategy starts off so modestly that it scarcely seems like a favor. The trick is that suppose a colleague requests that you spend 10 minutes viewing their post. "Sure, why not?" you reply. The next week, they want the entire shift. You are reluctant to say no, but you feel bad about it because you have already assisted once. The trap is that it takes advantage of your need for consistency. Once you have shown generosity, your mind wants to maintain that positive perception. You feel that saying no would go against who you were before, even if the requests increase. At work, it's more than just favors. A sweet text me good morning may start a personal relationship, but all of a sudden you're responding every 5 minutes, every day. And your undivided attention is being demanded all day long. This is even used by businesses. You signed up for that free trial. It's bait, not a gift. The charges, upgrades, and unexpected subscriptions come after you've been easily enticed. And it all comes down to beginning small and gradually increasing your intake until you're fully engaged without even realizing it. The defense, however, is to know when a modest request is really the beginning of something more significant. The 4th is love bombing. Initially seems like a fantasy: constant affection, lavish displays, and unending compliments. It seems like the kind of love that everyone desires. Don't be misled, though, this isn't love. Psychological warfare is what this is. Your brain's pleasure chemical, dopamine, is flooded into your system by the manipulator, leaving you feeling euphoric, emotionally connected, and attached. However, they cut it off just as you're completely engrossed. No more focus. Not another message. You're craving the rush right now and will stop at nothing to regain that warmth. The hook is that it has nothing to do with romance. It has to do with control. It's the same tactic used by cults. Love and acceptance come first. Next, compliance. If you don't want to, they withhold that affection until you beg for it to return. After a disagreement, someone may give you a large gift. Even in friendships, "I did that for you. Now you owe me." They will later say, "It's not being nice. It's money." Remain alert. Even if their love isn't genuine, what about their intentions? Indeed, they are. 3rd, gaslighting. It's mind warfare. One of the most sinister psychological strategies is gaslighting, which is a slow and intentional attack on your sanity. Little insults like "Are you sure? Lately you've been forgetting things." Then things get out of hand. They deny saying anything hurtful, put the blame for their behavior on you, make you doubt your memory, your choices, and even how you see the world. Making you doubt yourself so much that you begin to rely on them for the truth is the obvious goal. It sounds like this in relationships that never happened. You're inventing things. A manager at work might claim you're dreaming and take credit for your accomplishments. Additionally, you appear more insane the more you attempt to defend yourself. Why is this effective? Because people are in need of approval from others. Additionally, your mind begins to agree with someone close to you when they are adamant that you are incorrect. You're not broken though, they're playing you. The secret: have faith in your patterns. Have faith in your intuition. Above all, have faith in your memory, particularly when someone else is attempting to obliterate it. Second, the quiet approach. This person requires more than just space. It's a deliberate form of emotional discipline. The purpose of the silent treatment is to cause suffering rather than to bring about peace. They halt their conversation, give up answering, withdraw affection to see you suffer. Not because you need it. It makes you feel anxious, confused, and compelled to fix something that you didn't even break. Silence is interpreted by your brain as rejection, and rejection hurts. That's why it functions. You wind up pursuing. I apologize. To feel normal again, I'm pleading. To stop the emotional bleeding in a romantic dispute, one partner may remain silent until the other apologizes. To avoid conflict, a manager may use coercion to get a worker to quit. And if you confront them, you're too sensitive, they will say, don't purchase it. When silence is employed to cause pain, it is not a respite. It is not affection. It is abuse. First, shifting the objectives. Consider competing in a race where the finish line is constantly shifting. Moving the goalposts feels like that. Just do this one thing and we're good, is the initial mindset. So you do it. But then there's another demand. Then another. They now criticize your style after you lose weight. You put in more effort. The problem now is your attitude. Helping you grow is never the goal. It involves depleting your energy. Your confidence is undermined when you pursue approval that never materializes. You begin to think, perhaps I'm the problem. If I only put in a little more effort. But what's the truth? Reaching the finish line was never intended. Because it keeps them in power, it is always changing. The approach is the same whether dealing with controlling bosses or toxic lovers. Constant criticism, fluctuating expectations, and no gratitude. The fact is that those who truly value you won't expect you to prove yourself every day. The difficult part is that now that you understand how these evil tactics operate, awareness by itself does not always provide protection. What happens if the manipulator is more intelligent, more vicious, or worse, a real loved one? You need unwavering mental fortitude at that point. Do you want to cultivate a mindset so strong that it inspires others and terrifies manipulators? Don't stop here. Then watch how to build a mind so strong it terrifies people like David Goggins. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.